Alright, so Call of Duty Next was today, and honestly, I gotta be real, it just kind of felt empty. Like, yeah, we got a couple of reveals and things that we've been waiting for, but it didn't feel like it had a ton of substance behind it, especially when it comes to zombies. But I do want to talk about what we did get, because there were definitely some positives, but there were also definitely some negatives. First up, the new map, Ashes of the Damned. It actually has a good atmosphere. Like, the atmosphere in this map is absolutely incredible. This actually feels like a zombies map again. Like, a lot of the recent maps we've been getting feel very multiplayer Warzone-esque, not a lot of zombies atmosphere, but when I see Ashes of the Damned, it actually just has that zombies vibe with the dark ether purple glow everywhere. Just kind of gave it that like extra creepy kind of feel, not necessarily scary, but just zombies-esque. And don't get me wrong, I don't want every map to be like purple dark ether, because then it just loses that uniqueness, and it's already getting kind of played out, for being honest. But it does work really well here in my opinion, and I really do like what they're going for with this map. Another thing that I really liked was the unique POIs. Every area that they showed off looked like it actually had some character behind it. It looked like it had its own identity, and they even talked about the backstory of these areas, and man, they are honestly really good. I believe one of the backstories was a movie producer killed a woman in the lake for some reason. I don't remember exactly why, but they all have like actual tragedies behind them, and that's why they've been sucked into the dark ether. And I'm sure we'll learn more about that once the map is actually released and everything. But man, I'll tell you what, so far the world building has been on point with this map, and I really can't wait until we can actually learn more about the unique areas this map has to offer. Oh, and just a little thing that's not necessarily the map, but just more of the game. The Black Ops 7 weapons just look so much better than what we had in BO6. I mean, just visually, they have more character, they feel more polished, and when you're actually holding one, it just looks so good. It has that futuristic feel to it that Black Ops 7 is offering. When the game takes place in the future, you can do these creative things with the guns that aren't necessarily real to life, but since you're in the future, you can kind of suspend your belief for a minute and think of, and you can see these really cool designs for the weapons, and I'm a big fan of the Black Ops 7's weapons. Now, probably the biggest thing for me is the story potential. This game has some insane story potential, and I don't say that lightly. The fact that when you exfil, you actually go to the house from Black Ops 3, a lot of OG players will know just how big that is. The house was an insanely big part of the original storyline, so the fact that they're bringing that back in some sort of way really gives me a lot of hype, and I hope that they do something with it, because a lot of stuff in Black Ops 6 had insane potential, but it didn't really go anywhere. Black Ops 6's story felt very filler, and I hope that this game does not feel like that. Even the official description of the map is crazy. I seen this post on Twitter, and it was the description of the map, and the description says, "A new world, a new enemy, and some strangely familiar allies. Uncover the secrets of the Dark Ether's most dangerous corner and face the primordial power of its ancient guardian." Like, bro, that actually sounds sick. I feel like it's kind of teasing the boss fight, which I don't like with the ancient guardian, but I mean, come on, ancient guardian, that could be anything, right? It sets the tone perfectly for the map though, and it shows us that they are trying to actually go deep with the story. But at the same time, we have seen Treyarch set things up before and not always follow through. A lot of Black Ops 6 was like that. So I am cautiously excited, but the potential here is through the roof if they can actually deliver. Now, while we're in the positive section, I gotta mention Cursed Mode. This is one of the most intriguing things about Black Ops 7 Zombies. They didn't really reveal a ton about it today, but they did confirm one new thing. Golden armor is now a reward for players playing Cursed Mode. And that raises some questions for me. Like, what does that mean? I thought there was no armor in Cursed Mode, so why would golden armor be in Cursed Mode? Or does it mean that golden armor is in standard mode? I didn't really think that Curse was supposed to have armor, so now it's got me pretty confused, if I'm being honest. They definitely need to give us some more details here, because right now I just don't really get what they're saying. It kind of feels like a half reveal. But yeah, they definitely need to give a little more detail on this, but it does have me excited. But if the Curse Mode actually reaches its potential, it's going to be that more traditional, classic experience that we've all been wanting for years, and I cannot wait to just try it out and see what that mode has to offer. Another thing that's positive, but it's also kind of negative in a way, is that they redesigned the ammo caches so they actually look zombified and specific to the mode. As you can see here, they are no longer just like Warzone crates. They actually have like Mr. Peaks on the front, and the ammo is floating out of it, and it's like overfilling. You can see it's actually clearly an ammo crate, which is very good. That's not the negative. That's very good. I wish they would do more stuff like this. But problem is, they redesigned this, but they refuse to redesign other mechanics to make them more zombified. For example, armor. Armor is still default armor plates, just like it was in Black Ops 6, just like it was in Modern Warfare Zombies, and I don't see why they don't redesign armor. Now, you guys know I have redesigned HUDs and things like that in the past, so if you want to see me make a video redesigning armor, if this video gets, I don't know, 30 likes, I'll make a video where I zombify the armor and make it actually feel special and unique to the mode. They definitely need to redesign armor if they insist upon it being in the game. It does not look like it fits zombies at all. It looks straight out of Warzone. I am really big fan of what they're doing with the ammo boxes and the ammo caches. They just need to apply that to more systems like armor, in my opinion. And of course, gameplay-wise, it does look a lot like Black Ops 6, but that's not a bad thing. Black Ops 6's gameplay was honestly one of the highlights. You have the returning Omni movement. You can now jump off of walls, which I don't imagine will be that useful in zombies. It's kind of a gimmick like wall running was in BO3. Gameplay actually does look very good and very smooth, and I can't wait to try it for myself. But now that means it's time to get into the negatives. And man, the number one thing that I knew was coming and that everyone knew was coming that is just horrible and they need to change without a doubt is the HUD. I'm not feeling this HUD at all. Right now, it's just the multiplayer HUD slapped onto zombies, and it does not fit at all. It looks too clean, it's too modern, but there's a little bit of hope here because Treyarch did mention in a past blog post that there's going to be quote-unquote HUD themes, and some of those are supposed to make the HUD feel more like older zombie titles. And if that's true, then that's amazing and that's great and I love it. But until they actually show it, I'm not going to give them credit for it because they could scrap that. That might not even happen. We don't know. So until I actually see this theme that makes it look like classic zombies, classic HUD, I'm not going to give them credit for it, and the HUD is going in the negatives. Another issue I've seen is the truck. Now the truck itself looks cool and I have no problem with it. The fact that it is the pack-a-punch machine, it has these cool upgrades is really awesome. But when they're driving from place to place, the truck just looks really slow. I'm not sure if as you upgrade it, it will get faster and faster and faster. I don't know. But so far, the truck just looks extremely sluggish and slow, like it has bad mobility and bad control. So I really hope that they can fine-tune the truck so it is a little bit smoother, maybe a little bit faster. Overall, I don't have a problem with the truck. I just have a problem with how the truck moves. And then there's the really big one that everyone's been talking about, and that's that this game is basically BO6.5. There aren't a lot of actual mechanics that are changing. It's basically just a more polished version of Black Ops 6 with better maps, better weapons, and hopefully better story. And that's honestly fine because BO6 was a good game. In my opinion, the two things that suffered from the most was the story and the mechanics. So if the curse mode can really bring back the classic mechanics, and if we can get a better story, then Black Ops 7 has a bright future in my opinion. But if this is basically just a more polished version of Black Ops 6, I would be fine with that. Even though it's not a revolutionary leap forward for the mode. So even if it is basically just a more polished Black Ops 6.5, I still would be happy with that as long as we're getting good story. So overall, that's pretty much it that we got for COD Next this year. We had some good things, some bad things, but nothing that completely blew me away, and honestly, I'm kind of feeling numb is the best way to put it. I don't really feel negative or positive after this. I was hoping I would feel more positive, but I'm glad I don't feel negative either. I kind of just think the same thing I thought going into today. Before I wrap up, I want to show you guys the mastery camos for zombies. I think these are honestly really good. They're probably better than the Black Ops 6 one in my opinion. But yeah, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Everything about COD Next, everything you've seen today, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about that cursed mode I was talking about earlier coming to Black Ops 7 on launch, then you can click on this video right here where I go into depth about everything we know about cursed mode. Thank you for watching.